Hello there.
I'm Robert.
And I'm Vanessa.
Travis. Then we are late to the party, and it's another final video game retro reaction edition of
Better Late Than Never.
And how can we not do video game movies and not talk about Super Mario Brothers?
Super Mario Brothers.
Mario.
Probably one of the most controversial, well, not so controversial, but dumpster fire video game adaptation films, notorious films created that most people say is crap. I love this movie. I enjoy this movie a lot. It is so much fun.
I'm more of a, I don't really care of this movie.
Sure.
I am one that would say this is probably my favorite video game movie as well. I don't know if that's how you feel, but I do feel it is this one.
It's not a good Mario movie, that's for damn sure.
No, but
it's not a good but it's an Elseworld type Mario movie.
It is
in a parallel universe type Mario movie. Not the one they should have made first. It's something that should have come down the pipe.
It was
maybe
fun.
Later.
It's just
It's weird.
It's weird.
It's fun. This movie was released This movie was released May 28th of 1993. Budget of $48 million. Only did $20.9 million at the box office.
yeah.
Understandable.
Understand it.
It was in developmental hell for quite some time.
Directed by the husband and wife duo of Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel.
Who also created Max Headroom. So if you remember Max Headroom, they were actually the ones that created him.
This movie stars Fiona Shaw, Fisher Stevens, Samantha Mathis, Dennis Hopper, John Leguizamo, and Bob Hoskins.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah.
Oh, Bobby.
R.I.P.
And the music done by Alan Silvestri.
Crazy, right? Alan Silvestri did the score for Super Mario
They can
Brothers.
all be winners.
Right.
No, I think the score is a winner. I enjoyed the score.
It's a fun score.
I don't really remember.
I mean, it's not as good as maybe the version of Super Mario's that came out in 1985 in the video game.
You're right. Yeah. If you compare this to Mario Brothers in any way, shape, or form, well, why wouldn't you? It's a Super Mario Brothers movie. Yeah, it's gonna fall short on many different levels.
I have lots to say. I think we should just watch this trailer.
Let's watch this trailer.
Shall we? Let's
Oh, I got the power. Hey, hell, I don't think I've ever seen this trailer.
Where are we?
Mario. Oh, John Leguizamo. There it is.
They're plumbers.
It's just a picture.
Yoshi! In the movie for 2 minutes. There's Harry Potter's aunt.
Fiona Shaw.
Oh, spoilers! How did the entire shoe so fast?
Such a trippy scene. Poor Toad. We're only in the movie for 2 minutes like that.
Yeah.
Not even, 2 seconds. It's so crazy. Black, 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 black.
Mario Brothers.
This ain't no game.
We know that for damn sure.
Would you see this movie off of this trailer? That looked fun.
No. I'd be like, what is that? I mean, I'll probably go see it because I'd be curious as to what they're doing. I will applaud them for, kind of creating a story, like, out of the box type of story for, Mario and Luigi and doing and then King Koopa,
And now for something completely different is essentially what they said when they wanted to create the film.
But there was so, like you were saying earlier, production hell. There were so many versions of this story, this movie that was going to be made.
Yeah.
And they thought they were going to go this way. Then Disney got the distribution rights and said, no, you're not going to do it that way. But yet some of the sets were already built.
Yeah, it definitely was turmoil, especially just trying to write the scripts, just trying to produce the sets, just trying to create a story. The cast itself was all over the place.
Oh my gosh, they wanted Dustin Hoffman wanted to be in the movie,
and that was partly because it was originally written by the writer of Rain Man, way back before it ended up becoming what it eventually became.
But some of the producers didn't feel he fit the role. Danny DeVito was offered the role of Mario and to direct,
and he turned it down.
Yeah,
he didn't want anything to do with it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael Keaton were all approached to play King Koopa.
Yes,
but they turned it down too.
Plumbers. That was my Arnold as Koopa. Horrible.
Tom Hanks was gonna play Luigi,
and they dropped Tom Hanks
because he bombed the box office before.
Yeah, he was having some bombs. A few bombs, and they didn't want to
Tom
bring
Hanks?
Hanks.
Tommy Hanks.
Could you imagine him as Luigi Mario?
Tom Hanks?
Yeah, could you imagine him playing Luigi Mario?
It would be so weird.
Mario and Luigi Mario. One of the worst things in this movie. I'll agree. Name? Yeah,
Mario.
Because they're the Mario brothers, so their last name technically is Mario.
That makes sense.
And so they tried to explain it with, it's Mario and Luigi Mario. But yet Luigi was abandoned, and yet he took care of him because he was his mother and his father. Yeah. It's a weird thing that they try to set up for the backstory of the Mario Brothers, and it doesn't work. Like, that's why I think if you were to take all elements of like Mario Brothers out of it, it's a fun, weird movie. It's an interdimensional type parallel universe with this dictator that's trying to take over the good universe. He's coming after the prime timeline because his sucks. So he's trying to merge them together so he can have the air, the water, everything that we have that they don't have. That is what they're trying to do in this movie. But then you throw in Mario and all this stuff, and you only add elements like Goomba by name. Or the Ba-Bomb, just by having, just a little imagery of it. But majority of it just is not Mario Brothers. Like, it's just this other movie that was created in a world called Mario Brothers. But that's why I like the movie. I really like the movie, but damn, I understand that as a Mario Brothers movie, they decided to go out of the box and didn't end up giving you something that was a good adaptation from what we had in Mario Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember this movie. I've seen it only like twice.
Right.
But even like the whole time, I'm just like, where was the direction that they wanted to go for this movie? Where did they?
There's a reason.
Like, why did they want him to be like this? It was just
the writers wanted to. They envisioned like a whole comedy, weird, dark movie, like similar to like Ghostbusters or something weird and tangible like that. But they kind of dropped. I think they did great, but I mean, maybe like you said, the video game doesn't really match.
Mario in itself is really. I feel like it's kind of hard to create a live action story out of what Mario is. Yeah. I love Mario. I love playing Mario, but it's just I don't know. Like, I would like to see them try again with Super Mario. But I don't know how they would do it. Like, I just don't have any...
The problem with this movie is that they were also trying to create a prequel to what would eventually become the game. So the whole intention was, everything is evolved or de-evolved, and that's what they ended up incorporating with the de-evolution gun that he ends up having, and that's why you end up getting Koopa turned into a reptile at the end of the movie, even though he ends up going too far and he turns into sludge. But you end up getting a little bit of like some of the things that lead into what becomes Mario, not very well. It's not connected very, very clearly.
I mean, I know that they wanted to go and do more.
They did. That was their intention.
Right.
Yeah.
Even at the end, when Daisy comes, she's like, I need you.
Yeah.
And he grabs the plunger and they're...
Which is weird because Lance Henriksen, her father, ended up coming back and he was okay. Love those plumbers. Yeah. Spitting up all the freaking fungus. Trust the fungus. Trust the fungus.
Hey, the fungus just saved us.
But you ended up getting a lot of hatred for this film, not only by a lot of the fans, a lot of the creators, but more so the actors involved in the movie themselves. Absolutely hated this movie.
Hopper had Dennis Hopper had problems. Didn't he get hurt multiple times?
No, that was Bob Hoskins. So Bob Hoskins ended up getting injured multiple times. He got electrocuted. He ended up getting stabbed 4 times, according to him.
Man.
He broke his finger, and then they ended up having to wear a cast. John Leguizamo got hit by a car and broke his leg and ended up having to wear a cast. Like, it was just so shoot from the hip type mentality. They ended up kicking the directors off of the set as well, and like the DP ended up having to shoot the rest of the scenes that they didn't have and just kind of mash this movie together.
So crazy.
Apparently the directors were like egomaniacs, or understandable. Like, you're putting what you have as a vision into this movie, and it's not fitting what everybody else wants. So you're getting all these clashes. Hoskins and Leguizamo were constantly drinking on set because they were just done with it. Like, Hoskins only did the movie really because his kids knew who Mario was.
Right.
And, you know, he didn't even want to do the movie in the first place because he had just done Eddie Valiant for Roger Rabbit, and he was kind of tired of doing the little kid stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, hesitance. Oh yeah, I mean, but still, that was Spielberg. You don't say no to Spielberg. But you end up getting, you know, a lot of negativity when it comes to this movie's post-production.
True.
And it just did not bode well for the legacy of the film.
But in post-production, they did do a lot of innovative things with special effects.
Sure.
Like the creative artistic direction, the special effects. The fans actually enjoyed that part of the film. Christopher Woods, he was the visual effects designer.
Sure.
If you look at some of this stuff in the early 90s, the going through the rock and stuff,
Yeah.
that looked pretty dang cool.
It is.
I mean, you look at the effects of this movie that was released in '93, and then look at Mortal Kombat in '95. The visual effects are different.
Yeah.
And you kind of see where they spent their time and money on it.
You do end up getting an awesome practical set in this movie that is, you know, Koopa's kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very Blade Runner. You know, it does
Very
have that
much.
Blade Runner worn down type feel, futuristic aspect
fungi
to it.
everywhere.
Oh yeah, and it was a hell of a set. Very, very big and practical. And dangerous at the same time, especially those cars, like the cars in the movie, shooting sparks like crazy, all kinds of metal hanging off them, because it's basically like a jerry-rigged society trying to survive with having no water anywhere, food's bad, so's air. Drop the ball with Toad, absolutely they did. But you ended up getting, you know, some cool visual elements in this movie that you typically wouldn't see in a kid's movie.
Yeah.
For that, I applaud them for it, because it was kind of innovative at the time. Didn't fit in a Mario movie. It even caused Nintendo to pull the plug on Metroid, because they were going to make a Metroid movie.
Yeah,
So-
now Nintendo is,
Hesitant.
you know, is very hesitant
Oh,
on
yeah.
what to do with Mario. But I
Right.
think now, because of, you know, Sega doing so well with...
Actually, in 2018, Nintendo teamed up with Illumination to make a Mario animated
Universal.
film.
Yeah.
I can see that. I think that would
So,
be good.
I
I mean,
think that's
there was
released for
the
2022.
show, the
Oh,
Mario's,
absolutely.
Super
the
Mario
Mario
Brothers
cartoon.
cartoon.
Yeah, Mario
So
Super Show.
I could see them going that. But as far as doing like a live action version of the movie, I don't think that they're
hard to
very
do.
hesitant of that.
There's
but
only one
I
Mario,
mean,
and it's Captain Lou Albano.
I don't know. I mean, you know, Sega coming out and doing the whole thing with Sonic,
Yeah.
and
It's just getting
There's
that
room
right
for it.
story and getting that right actors.
the right
and
story,
team
the right
together.
actors to be in the movie, find a way to make the story flow well, would be interesting. I mean, now, because back then you know you had Mario and like. There wasn't a whole lot of Mario games.
Right, it
Now
was
we
just
have a
Super
lot
Mario
of
Brothers,
Mario
just Super
games,
Mario.
and you know, I feel like it would be kind of cool if they did a Mario movie, but it was like kind of like Mario Party. Like incorporate that in some way, but it would be a horror movie because they all get stuck and they have to fight their way out.
Well, then you do
anyways.
Luigi's Mansion.
I would say Mario RPG.
That too, yeah.
The cool thing is, though, is that there is plenty of room for improvement when it comes to Mario, because this was so long ago. A lot of people haven't even watched the movie or know anything about it, especially the market audience, which is now the kids that all have the Switches. And you end up having like a whole new legacy that you can imprint on an audience that has no idea this movie even exists. But we're going to keep talking about that because I love that it exists. It's one you can go back and watch. It's weird. It's definitely not in the vein of Super Mario whatsoever. Did you know that John McClane was actually supposed to have a cameo in this movie?
John McClane, Die Hard John McClane?
John McClane character was supposed to be crawling around in Koopa's vents in the scenes when they're crawling around through the vents trying to go up through Koopa's tower.
Like a Koopa version of him?
Nope. Just John McClane was supposed to pop up as like a funny little cameo, like roaming around in the vents.
Get together, have a few laughs.
And then they would just go on their merry ways.
You
and
just
try
put the
and get
picture of that little girl, the meme where she's like,
yeah, it's weird. It's definitely
that's
weird.
basically my face.
And that's what this movie was. It was just kind of sloppily put together. At the same time, someone had a vision, and the vision did not end up.
Just got morphed completely different.
Yeah.
Is that what happens when you have too many cooks in the kitchen?
A lot of cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, but sometimes, if you do, you can
Too
come
many
out with
cooks.
some magical deliciousness.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. You get a
And then
concoction
sometimes
that
it's
is
just-
actually good. I like the music though. Like I like the soundtrack as well as the score.
Right.
Alan Silvestri's score is fun, but you end up getting a song in the credits by Roxette. Like I'll listen through the credits because I actually like the song. And it's not something that a lot of people would understand unless they were like at that specific age and open to it into something different. Even though I love the hell out of Mario Brothers and played the hell out of all those games, Mario Brothers 3, man, that's
Mario
my
Brothers
favorite.
3 is good.
Super Mario World
Right,
is great. Mario 64 is fantastic, but Mario Brothers 3
Fantastic.
for me was like the
Super
pinnacle.
Mario 3 was good though.
It was the pinnacle. You get
And
that
then, of
raccoon.
course, I loved playing Mario Party.
Sure.
On the 64. Like that was my thing. My friends would come over. We'd have sleepovers.
See, we
and
played
would
Goldeneye.
play
That's
that
all I
game.
played. Yeah, it was Goldeneye.
No, we played
It's like the
Mario
only game I
Party.
owned on the 64.
We played Mario Party, and then we played Pokemon Snap, and then we played Pokemon Stadium. We had a lot of the Pokemons out there, and then Banjo-Kazooie. And now I'm just going into a Nintendo 64 thing. Banjo-Kazooie.
Time to dust it off.
Banjo-Tooie or something like that.
Nintendo and Universal, they got a whole Mario world working up. That's probably
I'm
going to
excited
be
for
what
that.
springboards something a little bit more of a
I didn't even
reinvigoration
think about
of Mario.
it. The parks will be open up around the time the new movie might be ready to release.
Hopefully,
Good timing.
but we're looking forward to it, guys. What do you think of Mario? Christian Harloff always gives me shit for my love for Mario Brothers, but I hope I explained well why I actually love this movie, and it really has nothing to do with Mario or Luigi.
Yeah.
But tell us what you guys thought. Which is your favorite Mario Brothers game? Tell us down in the comments below. There's something to be said for every single Mario game. Paper Mario, Mario 2, the backstory between Mario 2 and what really happened in the porting over. But that's a whole different
Mario
story
2.
for another time. It's so good.
Can't
So
never beat
good.
that.
Yoshi's World, Toad.
Absolutely.
So
But
much. Out of the video game movies we did for March, what video game movies have you enjoyed that we didn't talk about? Tell me about it.
There's plenty more out there. We're probably
Double
not,
Dragon.
Yeah, Double Dragon. But either way, guys, thank you so much for joining us for this video game retro reaction for Super Mario
Silent
Brothers.
Hill.
What did you? Oh yeah, we'll come back around. We'll do these again in the future, or maybe in the past, depending on when you're watching this. But thank you, guys. You can like and subscribe.
And do the Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Stardust. I totally lost track there for a second.
As they did with this movie as well. But thank you guys so much, and as you can kick into the party, feel the party. You derailed me like this movie and the creators. And that's it. Bye.